Ready here. Ready there. Hello, hello. We are ready to go. I do believe. Volume is good. Volume is good here. Volume is good there, I believe. Like to believe things. I do too. Hey everybody, Kyle Abbott. See, I'll wait for people to come in. Let's play a little bit. Oh, hello. Okay, well, got someone here. Let's start the class. Hey, Joel. Good afternoon to you, too. So, let's see. Boom, we started. Okay. Hey, everybody. Let's see. So, today we have a lesson. We're going to learn some ways to add flavor to Kokiriko, Bushi, and such. Fun fact, when you trying to enter Kokiriko Bushi into spell check, it remembers Kokiriko, but for Bushi, it often puts in bushings. So you can learn Kokiriko bushings. Okay, so yeah, that's that. I'm going to just share a little bit of what I'm doing in the workshop for the new Shamisen. The saw is currently being urushied, as I say. It's on its, hey Michael, it's on its second to third coat now. It won't look like this. It won't have this amount of shine until the fifth coat. So it's kind of, until then, it's kind of, you know, it doesn't look that nice in its current stage, but it's, don't look too closely and just patience, it'll get shiny in the end. Even this could probably have one more coat, but that's okay. Hey Carl, hey Michael, hey Joel, hey Drake. Okay, so yes, while the saw is curing now, I'm working on a wooden nail. Let's go to Docam. Boom. So this is a kind of a new thing, new invention, if we can call it that. This is Reagan's idea, saying that a wooden nail will have louder, better tone and such, louder sound, better tone, than if it was a rope tailpiece that's commonly used. And I think I mentioned this earlier, that the makers of the Eclipse and the Akatsuki, Reagan told them this idea, and they actually thought it was, really plausible. So they will be using it for a future shamisen at some point. In the meantime, I'm going to give it a try using snakewood, and this is keeping in the tone of snakewood, kind of sharp edges, snake-like. This is going to be rounded down. Can you see the line? There's not a line, but this will come down to here. Kind of like two teeth. Will be kind of cool, methinks. And all of this, all of this part down here is going to be cut away. So it will fit flush on here, more or less. You can see here there's a hole, and on the saw over here I drilled the hole through the spike all the way through, put in a rod, a metal rod, and then a threaded sleeve. So this can be screwed on to the tip, and metal on metal connected. That should also help the tone. Reagan says. We shall see if that makes any difference whatsoever, but never know. Worth a try. Did I say in the last one that, yeah, I did say that the balance with the rod inside makes the balance so unbalanced. But I already mentioned that, so you can watch the previous episode for more info on that. Oh, Johnny, you got did the shovel arrive already? Probably not. I'm not sure. Yeah, Johnny Peets now has a shabo. Can finally join in our live lessons. Cool, cool, cool. Congratulations. Okay, let's get started. Feel free to talk as usual or make requests or whatever. I'm not sure how much material this subject will provide, but we'll see. Okay, so basically, we all learn Kokiriko Bushi. Most all of us have learned Kokiriko Bushi. We learn that. We want to move on to another song. We learn that. We want to move on to another song. Pretty soon we've got a repertoire of 10 or more songs. And that's great. I think we should all strive to. Just like learning a new language, you can worry about grammar and such later. But a very important part is just building vocabulary as much as you can. Same with music or shamisen songs. But eventually you learn a lot of songs and you think, okay, what do I learn next? I don't have any more minyo or more songs that I have the ability to or can find or whatever to learn. However, just learning the melody is like only a third or maybe half or less, I think, of the potential of the shamisen's potential, just playing those songs. And for example, Kokiriko Bushi, just the beginning. That's cool. That'll sound nice at parties. Cool. Yeah. Awesome, Johnny. Looking forward to having you play with us soon. So that will sound nice at parties. But, you know, we can make it even a richer experience for ourselves, children, and everyone around us. Things I've gotten into, of course, is suri, or adding vibrato. That's one way we can kind of give it a bit more depth. But we can, of course, take it even farther. Let's just take the very beginning. We're tuned niagari, key of C. Do bereave. Okay. Key of C. So the very beginning, Sanoito, 3, 3, 4, 3. 3, 3, 4, 3, then 0, 3, 0. 0, mid 3, 0. So 3, 3, 4, 3, 0, 3, 0. 0, 3, 0. Okay, that's cool. Now, here's some ways we can add flavor just at the beginning. 3, 3, 4, 3. So when I hear, shamisen is sharp and twangy, which is a great feature of it. But do I really want to just have my opening note to just be like that? I like to go in a little bit softer, kind of build into that note. So, what's one way we can do that? Brushing into it, striking like that, just strum. This is regarding the do, so we'll go to do cam. So instead of then that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But that is one place ripe for depth. This is begging to have some flavor, ripe with flavor. With shamisen, I like to, soften, as Carl knows when we're talking about the bass and things, soften the notes, going up to the notes and down. So instead of this, how about strike 3, hammer on to 4, and then 3 again. Note, it's not unlike, my beginning thingy. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Where it's kind of all in time. Da, 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 da. Instead of that, dun, 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 da, da, dun, dun. And the hammer on, da, da, da. Not to have that in time, but a bit quicker. Changing the timing and rhythm in that way adds flavor as well. Johnny Peets asks, how would slide down from 4 to 3 sound? That's a good question. You mean like that? Metronome, great idea. Next time I will have a metronome for everybody. No, let's do it right. I will be right back with the metronome. This is the time when you all can talk. That's a good idea. I should have done a metronome a long time ago. Okay. So we can hear that okay? Dun, 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 dun. And. Or from the beginning. Cool. So right there, even though we're brushing up to it, the brush will happen just before the beat, because when we strike 3, that will still be boom on the beat. Do do dun. If this needs to be closer or farther, let me know. Like that. Next. We could just go. But that's another place we can have flavor. That's fine right there, I would think. This is all personal, wherever you just take a moment and think of each note, what seems fitting, or what seems fitting to change, modify, or what sounds fine as is. So for me, that would be fine. Just have a little vibrato there. Next, we could just go. But instead, let's think doing a hammer-on ni no ito to 4, from 3 to 4. Strike 3, and hammer to 4. So that's kind of the same, actually. Now, I often like to avoid doing the same thing twice. I mean, when it's close together like this. So maybe I'll substitute the hammer-on for slide. Ooh, that's nice. So instead of, we'll go. Oh, quick change of gears. Joshua tried this on the shabo. Let's try this on the shabo. Oops. That's where we are now. So note how big of a difference that is already. As Johnny says, it's got flavor. This is the original. Not like we've changed that too. How cool is that? And that's just this simple note. This would be regarded, I would say, as a basic song because the notes are simple. This is just a short phrase. But in just this few little motions, we've added tons of flavor, I would say. Next, we could do so. But instead of da 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 da, that's a repetition. Instead of going again, I would strike ichi no ito. Instead of samito. It's just an octave lower, but changes the tone and thus the flavors and dynamics and such. Well, that's two motions that were just the same. But you can do that if you want. I like to avoid. So maybe we'll bring back in the hammer-on. For me, that's enough spacing between the first one. That's enough space from the first to this last one. But for me, it's tasteful. Metronome. Just turned it off. Unmute. There we go. And. Any questions? Let me just repeat that a little bit and follow along if you can. And. So, that is Kokiriko Bushi, the chorus there. There's Maro no san sa wa re re ko ren. Then it repeats. Are no san sa wa mo de re ko ren. So we could just do those same exact motions twice, but why? Because there's so many things we can do, we can add more flavors. Can't we? Of course we can. So, first time we did hammer on, slide, hammer on. Now what can we do now? Well, we started the song with a brush. So, do we want a brush again? The song's already going. People's ears are into the music, so we don't have to worry as much about a sharp, abrupt, like that. In the beginning, just starting the song with it's kind of harsh and abrupt. But we got it started. Dun, 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 dun. Now it would be fine. Just to strike that. Or maybe together with Ni no Ito. Like that. And maybe just not even doing hammer on or slide. Because we did that in the beginning. So in a way it would be more flavor if we remove it in the second half. Yeah, I like that. Maybe the squee there, the upstroke, for a little variation in the tone, giving that kind of percussive. So second part. Like that. Or maybe you could even end with a slide to soften the ending of the chorus. But that's of course up to you. Now let's put the two together with Mr. Metronome. Let me know if you have any questions, of course, or ideas, because there is no one right way to do this. So feel free to add your own ideas. 1, 2, 3, and... Carl Spinner. of time, Joel. There. I like that combination of slide, or squee and slide. Hey, Sam. Last time. Try this at home. All right. So, we all learned a lot, I think. Oh, fun fact. Shishido, Mr. Shami Master Toshi, who's on the YouTubes and the Facebooks and such, he's developed this new thing. Yes, on the note of don't drop your bachi, Carl. He developed a little trick when he's doing, what was it, like Jonkara or Rokudan or something. He was playing, and he stopped playing for a moment and actually did boom, a spin, and started playing again. That is the next level of spinner, I have to say. We're actually throwing that up in the air, catching it, and playing. That is some cool shtick, I will say. I might try that too sometime, but I'd hate to take from his own little thing, his own cool thing. Okay. Okay, Carl Hidland. I have a suggestion for variation. Slide up to the next octave and go down instead of up after that. What do you mean? At what part? At what part do you mean? Slide up to the next octave. Like there? Like that? Let me know what you mean by that. Michael, oh, the skin's not going to rip. Oh yes, this is what I mean by flavoring Kokiriko Bushi. What did you think I meant, Sam? Oh, Carl. Played too much Akita ni Kata Bushi, Akita ni Kata today. My hand is kaput. Gonna be a guitar pick for this evening. Nothing wrong with that. Actually, just before, for an hour, just before starting this live, I was practicing songs that I'm going to be doing with Mike in September in Atlanta for Japan Fest. One of those songs being, spoiler alert, Thunderstruck. It's going to be our grand finale, I think. Spoiler alert. And oh my goodness. I'm not sure if it's a sign of early arthritis or whatnot, but... That's fine for a time or two, but how long? The song's like 3 minutes, and after about 1 minute or less of that motion over and over again, and I think it's these tendons or something is just constantly moving back and forth. Oh, it gets so stiff, and it feels like acid building up or something, and oh, I can't continue that. Somehow Mike and I are gonna have to switch off back and forth just doing that. Oy vey. I almost didn't think I could continue it either. Thunder. But fortunately we're not doing something heavy now. Okay. Any part of the beginning of the next turnaround. Ah, I see. So yes, Carl was meaning... That would be interesting. If you do a harmonic there, that keeps the tone ringing, giving you time to go back into position. Holding that out, you'll get that slide, which is fine too. This is a good thing in terms of adding that harmonic by sliding. If your shamisen is set up right, you'll get that sawari going. And as it's ringing, or the resonance. You'll be hearing that. If you get that going, that'll keep something ringing as you're going up here to the harmonic. That's pretty nice. More or less. Now, let's do the Kokiriko, the verse. This is just the main thing. So going back to our original, undoctored version. Doctored. Now. It's a nice song, so no matter what you play, it's going to sound cool. But we can make it sound cooler, right? Right. So in the beginning, as I said before, I like to have a soft entrance. So instead of Kokiriko, we don't have to go not brush in again because we already did that the first time. So how about we just slide from mid 3 to 4? Because 4 is the same as open sannoito in Niagari. So this will be, the beginning is 0, 0, 3, 0, 4, 3. That's pleasing enough. We don't have to add techniques and fancy things for everything, but ways we can kind of soften or sharpen, giving a real intentional, giving intention to the song, as it were. I would say that. And for Ninoito as opposed to Sanoito, why? Because Ninoito we can add vibrato, and I would like to do that. So from there, next will be 4, 4, 3. Anything we want to add there? Nah. Maybe no slides. I don't really like slides there. Alsvin, good to see you. for me, I'm feeling that just a simple strike on the 4, it feels tasteful and appropriate. So I'm going to go for that, I think. But I don't know about that. It's a little too much simplicity, if you know what I mean. 2 notes in a row. That doesn't sound right, but you know what I mean. Now from here, yeah, so what can we add to go to 3? We could slide to 3. Or, here's something. That's kind of cool. I'm jumping back a note. In terms of going to 4, we could do dun, da, da, dun, da, dun. That might be cool. Or if we want to use our we should have one simple note between these 2 areas. So that could either be at the 4, and then slide down, or three, a sudden hammer-on to 4, like that. Oh, Kyle, from Carl. I don't know if it's appropriate to mention, but when you've heard the version of the first Monsters of Shamisen album, that's what I imagined in my head. What do you mean? And if playing it slowly, I feel like slides and good vibrato are the only substitutes to fill in longer pauses. Ah, do you mean... So I think on the first Monsters of Shamisen album, I forgot the intro, but... Without those kind of fancy stuff. Is that the kind? Yeah. So when you have a song, when Kokiriko Bushi is that fast, and note that the slow one is the more traditional form. Traditionally, it didn't even have shamisen. I think it was, what was that, Tosan no Suniyama? Traditionally, it's just drum, flute, and dance, I believe. So the next step is the simple, is a slow version. However, that one, there's less need to add in, like, yeah, as you say. Maybe you could do that still. Okay, this stuff might even apply. But it's harder for us knowing the keeping the things fast and adding in these flavorings is not as necessary when it's fast, I don't think, to the same degree as most menial. Like. Right. You have to more space to be spiritual and feeling with the slow version. Yeah, maybe next time too we'll get into the fast version too. Yeah, we should do that another time. Let's see. Joe's idea. What about adding an occasional flurry of notes with skui? In this slow version? Like the tremolo sort of thing? Because that can sound nice with the slow version. Lots. Can't do spinners as easily with the fast version, I would say. Okay, quick flavoring. That would be something to maybe have turn a single note to shruti, I see. That might be a place to have I think of spinner. It might be a place to have a few skui or the tremolo at that 6, because the 6 is kind of the highest part of the song. So da 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 da. No, you could do. And of course, it's all a matter of personal taste. Like there. That's adding in a... Dun, 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 dun. 3, 4, 3. 3, hammer on 3. Or like pipa. So let's take that. We have added much more flavor. Dun, da, da, dun. Because our chorus was on the simple side. Things like that can add a bit more energy in a subtle way. Skui, hajiki. Skui. 1, 3, yeah. Skui, hajiki on 3. Finger on 3. Skui, hajiki, 3. And then 4, slide to 6. That could be skui and slide, which brings the percussiveness, the thwackiness of the skui with there. And then oshibachi. I like that. there would be a moment to have further quiet, muting. Now, we've just done. Next is dun dun dun, but we don't want to go. Maybe we do, but we just did that here. I knew it did. I don't like that as much. Maybe another slide would be just fine. Oh, Carl Headland. Kyle, how much would you say you are allowed to change the melody when playing this one in Minyo style? Well, you know, Minyo, it's all folk in a way. I mean, if you're going to, like how, I guess maybe there's folk music and then there's capital F, folk music, like you know, bluegrass or country or whatnot, where there's probably more rules in capital F folk music than folk music. So in that way, you know, in a way, I don't think people would reasonably say, that's not Minyo, get out. Let's see. For example, when you are up on 6 and could play San no Ito 9 before going down. Personally, I think that would be fine. I would do that. But, yeah, those who are more kind of the sticklers would probably even say just this slide. And this hammer on there and that sort of thing. Say, you know, that's not cool. Or, you know, that's not whatever that everybody's doing. So I would say it's the kind of more in the Tsugaru style of, you know, their phrase they love is that, you know, even a monkey can imitate, make your own Tsugaru, make your own Shamisen, as it were. So not just doing because everybody else. And this kind of thing, these kind of songs, the voice I think is the main feature, or everything's together, of course, but shamisen is more of an accompanying instrument, and voice is where it's at. You know, but in this kind of thing, if we're not singing and such, fortunately, the shamisen can have more flavor than maybe usually done, usually realized, as it were, to kind of take the place of the voice, I would think. That makes sense? I haven't rehearsed any of this. Oh, Reggie, glad you caught this. Check out the beginning, too. Joshua, do you play Naguta or Tiyuta style? I used to be super into both of those before I got into Tsugaru, like 13 years ago or so. I thought Tsugaru was the young people's kind of music, so I had no interest in that. Michael, of course, yeah. When I did get into Tsugaru, I practiced on an Ankute shamisen, Hosozawa shamisen, and it was totally fine. So of course you can do so, especially for this song like this. Thanks, Carl. Thank Alson. Yes, I would hit that 9 while still being true. Oh, while still being true to the general structure. Yeah, I mean, why couldn't you, I would say. There has to be allowance for the fact, because I mean there's foreign players and Japanese players and such who kind of are maybe extra sensitive about that, because they are maybe really focusing on a specific style and dedicating themselves to a specific style. So when they hear, us doing whatnot, this thought like that's not the way it's supposed to be done, but you have to give some credence or some allowance to the fact that we're not singing. Usually we're not singing or have other instruments to play with, so we have to change things around. So it would be interesting to do, I think. Thanks, Michael. Joel. Yeah, Alsvin. True stuff. Joel, I have a vision of a menial group looking at a shamisen player going crazy on Kokiriko like Marty McFly playing with Marvin Berry at the Straight Lighters. That paints a picture. Okay. I'll kind of jump through the rest of this, I think. Oh, yeah. So this is... well, we have a sense of the rest of the song. I might as well address this point. Music is meant to be a living thing. Can't just be the same. I saw... What was it? Not Churgilchin. Alash, the throat singing group they played at Don Quixote's in Felton last year, I think. Went to see them, and they had a very interesting point about traditional music. And what they call their music is living tradition. And they compared it with, I think what they called, I don't know, maybe it wasn't dead tradition. Forgive me if that's not what they called it. But they compared what they do with what's usually regarded as traditional music. The traditional music is like thinking of a museum, like, or field recordings, or, those things that's exactly the way it sounded 50 years ago, 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago, for throat singing, of course, could be over 1,000 years ago. And sure, you could play exactly the same, 1,000 years ago to this point, but then it kind of loses the living tradition because, over time, people are changing, both physically and emotionally in some ways, and, socially, culturally, and such and such. So by bringing that throat singing, bringing those traditional cultural things and carrying that along into the future, that is very healthy. That's what they described it. And somehow I didn't really think of it that way before they mentioned it. That makes total sense. Yeah, and same for this. Oh, that's good. Yeah, good point, Alsvin. And that actually kind of sometimes surprises me when you meet... Oh, Alsvin says, most classical Japanese musical genres are pretty strict about following a form with minimal improvisation, but I find Tsugaru to be more flexible. Certain teachers are more flexible than others. Yeah. And it's kind of interesting when you meet some of them, some people who you would think, based on their personality or whatnot, you'd think they would be more easygoing and loose about that kind of things, when in fact they're more straight, and others who you'd think they'd be kind of a stickler for just staying on the melody, are more wild and have a sense of humor about it all and such. So Tsugaru is a cool cousin. Nothing wrong. I mean, of course I love Gidayu and Jiuta and Naguta and all the genres in between, of course. But Tsugaru is easygoing to hang out with, I think. And I used to be really into just keep it keep it straight. Like Luke would do this kind of thing with the bachi and the strings, and I would yell at him and say, "You're not supposed to do that," or play like this, and I say, "Put your knee down." So I used to be on the other side of it. But I crossed over. Joshua, what style of shamisen playing would be most friendly for beginners? Minyo, I would say, because just like the song we're doing here, it's folk music. It's really melody based. I don't think there's as much emphasis on heavy technique things like naguta and such have some really wild technique things going on. Jiuta music, in my opinion, really needs the singer or something along with it, because the melodies are more formal in such a way. Minyo, the melodies are wonderful because it's singing based in folk music, and playing is simple. One quick note for you, Joshua, go to bachiro.com/school and check out 1010's lesson. It's 2 video lessons on the song Kokiriko Bushi, because she teaches the full melody as well as the voice, singing and such. It's a great resource. I love that one, that song. Okay. Final things to mention. Next time we'll go into the fancy wancy fast form. Okay, so get ready. Tuesday is going to be... Oh, nuts. I'm sorry. Next Tuesday as well, I have a gig with my family at Phil's Fish Market. Next Thursday is going to be a wild ride. We're going to do the Tsugaru version of Kokiriko Bushi. So all of you practice the slow one or get your feeling for the melody. Type in Kokiriko Bushi Monsters of Shamisen on YouTube. Most likely there will be a recording, or ask me for one. Ask me for one. There'll be this fast version, which is basically the same melody, just. Add in some extra little skibbly bits for us to do, like. And such. That'll be a lot of fun. Okay, and this will be the start of the next Shamisen Live contest. I want the theme of this contest to be adding flavors to whatever our favorite song is. Ideally a song where you realize you were just playing the most basic melody, like, or whatnot. Song that you kept rather plain, or a song that you love, anything. And think of ways, this part could have some flavor. We could add in a slide, or as Carl says for Kokiriko Bushi, we could add in a 9 there, or whatnot. That kind of can bring your expression, the depth of your emotional state, whatever the range of that depth being, any ways you can kind of bring more of that into your playing, I want to see. So this contest will be about a month, I think. July, what day is it? 8th, so like first week of July or something. I'll announce a winner. So have fun with that. Prize will be another Bachido swag pack, another album, some stickers, and more fun things. Interesting fun fact. Something to look forward to. My student is working on a Shamisen comic. Hopefully that'll be done pretty soon, within a few months. So that'll be a fun giveaway for a future live contest. Shamisen comics, we gotta love that. Carl, I realize we didn't talk dynamics so much today, which is something you should think of for the contest. Do you mean like volume dynamics? Because in a way, this is kind of, I would say, things we talked about here in terms of adding flavor. Maybe that's not the official jargon of, or the official meaning of dynamics musically, but I would say that compared to is more dynamic. Yeah. Okay, I see what you mean. Okay, so in terms of volume dynamics, yeah, we'll bring that up next lesson or a following one about volume dynamics. I guess now today's lesson was about melodic dynamics. I did a lot of talking, but I'm sure we kind of got the idea of what the direction we should go in. Hope everyone found that helpful. Speaking of comics, if you never heard of it, maybe check out Mashiro no Oto. It's running manga about Shamisen player, and it's pretty good. I've heard of that, or I've seen the cover of that somewhere. Okay, thank you all for joining. See you all next week. Have a great weekend. No rush on posting videos. Post videos, but no rush. Make sure just find a song you like and take time and just have fun exploring the melodic possibilities, and just play around, like play a phrase over and over again with different possibilities, like dun, 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 slide, or just do the same thing over and over again and try different things until something resonates with you and, that sounds nice. Because sometimes you just have to like test the different porridges until you find the one that's like, that's the ticket. Okay, thank you all. Thank you all for joining. Any questions and all, feedback, whatever, let me know. Have a great week and weekend. See you all later. Oh, yes. Don't forget to join the Bachido... Thanks, Johnny. People have already left by now. Don't forget to join the Bachido Facebook group if you're interested. Yeah. I'll mention that again later. Okay, how do we turn this off?